Hi, it's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with Vancouver Home Inspector and Mold Specialist, Mr. David Fairbairn of fairbairninspections.com. How are you doing today, Dave?
Hey, I'm doing really good. How are you, Mark?
I'm good. So we're going to talk about shower mold today, the causes and remedies. What's the deal with shower mold?
Oh, I'd like to talk about shower mold, and I hope you're ready to see some photos of said mold, Mark. Yeah, it's kind of a common problem we have in homes, especially, you don't have to have a flood or a leak to get shower mold. You just have to have a shower. So I prepared a couple photos, and I'm going to try to screen share them again. Hopefully this goes through this time. I'm going to ask you to verify if you see it on the screen here. You see that?
There it is, yep.
Okay, excellent. So that's our cover page. So shower mold. I want to go through some of the sort of myths about it and the facts about shower mold, and then at the end I'd like to go through what you can do about it to fix the problem. So let's get right into it. Showers are gross. They're dirty. There's a lot of standing water in them, so they're a perfect breeding ground for mold growth, right? So here we see a photo of a pretty standard tile shower. Obviously this one's had a significant amount of water leakage out of the pan. You can see in the foreground there, a couple tiles are actually been removed, and we can see that there's nothing left of the backing board at all. So what we have here is a moldy shower. Now I want to sort of differentiate between the shower mold that you can see and the shower mold that you can't see. If you're looking at the surface of the shower, you're standing there showering and you're looking down and you see black. You're probably looking at surface growth of mold, and it's taking root in porous surfaces. So one of the things about mold is it likes to set up in porous surfaces. It really likes organic material. It really likes drywall. It really likes anything it can bite into and take root. So here, in this case, we see it around the bottom edge, and it's probably because we've got some silicon. There's some silicon, caulking running around the bottom edge of the pan, and the mold has taken root in there. And we've got some, some black fuzzy stuff on the left-hand side. So this is obviously we have a pretty significant problem. In this case, the shower was actually being torn out and rebuilt due to the moisture problems. But if you have a fairly standard shower, it's not uncommon to get this kind of growth, and it's not necessarily a reason to panic. Okay, so we're looking at the edge of the shower here. We can see that the caulking has started to peel up, and we've got some growth occurring at the edge, the inside corner here. So the first thing we can do to make sure we don't get shower mold growth is to scrub it down and dry it out after you shower. Sometimes you'll see like a squeegee or one of those windshield wiper blades inside the shower where you can wipe it down afterwards. And the drier you can keep a shower, the less chance you have of growing mold in it. Second thing you can do is you should be resealing your shower periodically. This is one of the biggest myths about showers, is you don't have to reseal them. Now there's two ways you should seal the shower. You should seal the corners with silicone, and around the base of the pan and around the doors with a quality, there's one that comes to mind. It's a GE makes it, called, I believe it's called Tub and Tile, something like that. It's a caulking that you can go around the edges with because mold will grow on the caulking, and then it's time to replace it. And that's just typical for a shower. Second thing you should do is you should seal up the actual grout. And you can actually get a grout sealant product. This grout is quite porous, and eventually water will get behind as it passes through the grout and into the backing boards. So that is our non-visible mold, and that's what's actually growing behind the tiles. And once you reach that point, you may actually have to demolish the shower if it gets bad enough. Okay, here we've got a real source of potential mold. This is a bad idea, Mark. I don't know if we've talked about this before on our discussions, but windows in showers are never a good idea. They don't really work. They're actually allowed by the BC Building Code, but And they're kind of desirable because they let a lot of natural light into the bathroom. But it's not a good idea to put it in a shower. You should actually put it in a wall somewhere instead. Here we can see that we've got a lot of growth of mold around the cold window. Right? So we talked last week about mold in windows. What's happening here is that the mold is growing on the cold part of the window, which stays wet a considerable amount of time after you take a shower. And what also happens here is that the water actually leaks into the wall through the top of the tiles. And if you look at the edge of the tiles, that sort of edge closest to you, you can see gaps and cracks in the grout. So water is actually leaking behind this wall, and this wall actually had a huge amount of moisture damage below, inside the backing board. So that's when we're getting into really extreme cases. If we look here, you're going to want to make sure that there's no holes in your tiles, no cracks in your tiles. This is a foreclosure home from Port Coquitlam, and we can see that the owners have kicked a hole through the side of the wall, and they have solved it by putting tuck tape in some garbage bags over top of it. So it's not really a proper seal, and of course this is a terrific way to introduce water behind the wall cavity. This one actually was ending up in the kitchen. There was a huge leak that went downstairs to the kitchen below, caused an enormous amount of damage. It was thousands of dollars to repair. Okay, so our next photo, we're showing some moisture readings around a shower. So one of the things that happens when a shower leaks, or when when you have cracks or gaps around the shower, water can actually get into the drywall and travel down the wall. In this case, you can see this is actually a toilet valve right next to that. So this is about 6 feet away from the shower, and we still had heightened readings as the water traveled through the wall. So be very careful to always use your shower curtain. That would be probably the number one thing. This is the same shower here. This is actually a really poor shower design. It doesn't have a lot of mold in it, but we actually found that it was leaking into the walls, and there was actually hidden mold in this one. Last thing I want to talk about is how to minimize the surface growth is to run your bathroom fans. So we were talking about it last week, how to reduce mold in your home. The same applies here. If you've got a shower and you keep getting mold growth on there, you need to be running your bathroom fan more, because your bathroom fan exhausts the wet air out of the house and introduces dry air into the house through ventilation. So run your bathroom fan as much as you possibly can. And then, of course, if you keep your shower clean, dry, you run your bathroom fan, and you're sealing it on a regular basis, you shouldn't be having a huge amount of trouble with mold in your shower. Here we can see this is a moisture meter. This is one of the tools we can use to actually read behind the tiles, and it's actually giving us a pretty high reading. This is the same shower, and of course this is how we can tell that there is hidden damage. And this is a picture of how to clean your shower. So this is actually, I just pulled the stock photo up, but what we're looking at is clean your shower. Shower mold is not really a health hazard. We can certainly test it and check to see if there is an issue in the shower, but in general, you're going to want to just keep it clean and dry. And there are products you can buy from the hardware store. One comes to mind called Concrobium. There's another one called Moldex. There's actually a couple different bottled products you can buy at the hardware store that will not only remove the mold, but they'll actually leave a layer that will prevent future regrowth of the mold. So it leaves sort of a product on the surface of the tiles. Okay, so basically to recap, we want to keep it clean, dry, well ventilated, and well sealed. And if you follow those directions, you'll have you won't have shower mold. So I hope that helped out.
So one thing that I had a question about was what happens is all mold visible? Can you see all the different kinds of mold, or could there be, it looks clean but there's actually mold on the surface?
Yeah, excellent question, Mark. And I think we were talking about that a couple hangouts ago about what mold looks like. And mold can look really scary, or it can look like nothing. And the only way to tell if you have mold on the surface is to test it. And I want to be, I've said it before and I say it again, if you don't know if you have mold, if you think you might have mold, if you smell it, something's off. Usually you get that sixth sense where, we may want to look into this problem. Call us, we'll come out, we'll sample it, and we'll check and see if you have an issue.
That's great, David. So David Fairbairn of FairbairnInspections.com and Fairbairn Environmental. They're going to have a new website or a subset of their website. Yep. David's been, cited in the 24-Hour magazine and on Global TV about mold. He's a mold expert, and so he's the guy to call if you got any problems. Come to FairbairnInspections.com or give him a call, 604-395-2795. Thanks, David.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Talk to you again.